Hello everyone, this is Randall Lim. I'd like to introduce to you this Japanese concept of Shu-Ha-Ri. Now, what is Shu-Ha-Ri? It is a Japanese pedagogical concept. And in Kanji, the old Chinese characters is as follows: Shu, Ha, and Li. These three words, these are actually three individual words put together like an abbreviation. Shu means simply to copy, to follow, or to obey blindly. Ha simply is to analyze, to study into details, to understand, and once it's understood, modify, make some modification to suit yourself. And Li simply means to discard all techniques, discard all that you have learned, at least consciously, to embrace the freedom to break free from this bondage and to spontaneously create new techniques once you have achieved mastery. What is Shu-Ha-Ri? Okay, simply put, first, just copy the techniques. Then, understand and modify them. And finally, discard and set free from them. Now, each stage can take years and years. The longest stage would be the middle one, the second one, to understand and to modify. That's the Ha stage. It would create much frustrations and sometimes even confusion. Is the hardest to overcome. That's the second stage, the Ha stage. Shu-Ha-Ri, what does it mean? Shu, the first stage, Shu, simply means to copy the techniques step by step accurately without question. Just follow your teacher exactly to the T. And you continuously repeat practicing these techniques over and over and over again. It will take years, yes. And once you have repeated many times, have practiced many times, build it into your muscle memory. Get these techniques into your muscle memory. So you can just do them, execute them without thinking, spontaneously. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions about how it works, what's the meaning of this, and why that, why this, why that, and how this, how that. Don't ask questions. At this stage, don't ask questions. Just follow and copy your teacher. The second stage, as I mentioned earlier, would be the hardest and the longest stage, the Ha stage. The Ha stage requires you to be self-directed, to really internalize, to study, to analyze the details of each movement and each action, so that you can understand the mechanics and the rationale behind all this movement and action. Once you have understood, you will be able to simply tweak or modify the techniques to suit yourself. Now is the time to ask your teacher, to ask anyone as many questions as you can to clarify your doubts. As I've said, this stage is usually the longest and hardest. In the process of finding your way, you would hit many brick walls. You'll bang here, bang there, like the pinballs, right? Hitting here and there. But eventually, finally, you will settle down. In this stage, you also get confused. Sometimes you confuse yourself. You get confused, you get frustrated by no progress. This is the hardest stage, the hard stage. But don't worry, you will eventually transcend that. You will eventually overcome this stage after many, many years of hard work. Then comes the final stage. The final stage is actually the easiest. It's the easiest to go through, but it's the hardest to achieve, to reach there, sorry. The Ri stage means discarding all techniques, at least consciously. Free yourself, break free from the bondage of known techniques. All those techniques which you have learned from your teacher, which you have learned from others, which you have analyzed and studied yourself, break free from them because they would be the bondage. Set free from them. In this stage, you will be achieving the state of Mushin. Now, if you have not viewed my video on the concept of Mushin, empty mind, please do so that you can really understand what I'm talking about. In this stage of Ri, you will also be creating and innovating spontaneously. Your techniques should be spontaneously evolving, changing, generating. At this stage, some people reach spiritual enlightenment. All right? So, Shu-Ha-Ri. Do you embrace Shu-Ha-Ri? Now, with this brief explanation and presentation of the concept of the Japanese pedagogical concept of Shu-Ha-Ri, where teaching, learning, and mastery takes place. Thank you.